Thanks very much for checking out this episode of Turning to Him. If you enjoy what you hear, feel free to subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave comments, share it with your friends, all the basic stuff. When you do things like that, it makes it easier for other people to find the channel and add goodness into their lives. Thanks again. Okay, so you go up to Logan, you decide to go to Logan, you feel prompted to do that, you graduate, you've started your family, you have your, you said your daughter, your oldest daughter?
So by the time I graduated, we had two.
Okay.
Yeah. And my husband was going one path, and he was doing interviews and stuff for dental school and all the things, his dream stuff. And again, Heavenly Father had a different plan and placed a little boy in our family that needed a home. My sweet sister, here she comes playing into my story. She had a little baby, and she had needed to go somewhere for work and needed us to take care of this little boy while she was away for a little while. And we honestly felt like it wouldn't be a short-lived thing.
Okay.
And when she came back, me and my husband were discussing, like, we need to talk to her about this. Like, we need to know her plan and things like that. And this is the funny part, because my husband is really good talking to people. And I'm just, even like, she's my sister, but like, I was in college, so it wasn't like we were like super close.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just more timid when I talk to people, believe it or not, than he is. He's really good with words. And I was like, okay, let's do this, And he's like, but I really feel like it needs to come from you. And I was like, what? Like, what am I going to say? Like, I'm like, get sheepish and things when I talk about serious things. And he's like, no, I really think it needs to come from you. And so there's this idea in my mind, like, well, how am I going to present this? How is this going to work? And lo and behold, there was just this amazing time that came up when she was with me and we were talking, and just out of my mouth, I was like, so, like, what's your plan? Are you thinking about adoption? And all of a sudden she's like, well, I was actually thinking and wanting to know if you guys would adopt him. Okay. I was like taken back in that moment, because I only opened my mouth. Like, I didn't say much, but I was willing to be there and open my mouth. And I think Heavenly Father just made it work,
Yes.
So I'm like, I don't know what to say. I was feeling nervous, and I just was willing to open my mouth. And, so long story short, that little boy is ours now. He's the middle of our five. And yeah, that's okay. Another piece of the story.
Yes. So how old was he when you adopted him?
So officially, he was in our home when he was 4 or 5 months. I always have to do the math. And then when it was official, he was a year, just over a year.
Okay.
We adopted him. So very young.
And how old was your second oldest when your son came into the picture?
She was probably 3.
3. Okay, so kind of a natural age, a natural younger brother age.
Yep. And I was actually expecting our then third little child when she asked us to adopt our other little boy. So it was kind of like, well, I am expecting. So let me take this and we will pray about it. And so our 2 boys are only 11 months apart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, what a fantastic pseudo twins that you have there.
Yep.
Okay.
Lots of fun, but a lot of work too.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I think that's an example of the other side where we say, look, sometimes Heavenly Father says, you get to make this choice. And as long as our answer to that is, okay, great, I will keep making those choices, but I will also always have my ear tuned to thee.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a change of direction for me, I'm all in. And it sounds like that's exactly what happened. Look, I'm making choices, I'm building my own life. And then he says, I'm going to change the equation a little bit. And you say, okay, great. I'm all up. I'm in for that.
Yeah. It was amazing because, like I said, my husband was going here and there for interviews for dental school and things, and it just wasn't like working out as quickly as we had hoped. And so his dad actually came forward and said, hey, I have this business idea. Are you interested in building a business with me? And so within that, making that choice and then adopting our son and things were like, if we were here and there and everywhere doing dental school stuff, we would not have been around to have that opportunity to adopt. And so it's just amazing how things work out.
Okay, you said that very calmly, but those are two major life events. Number one, adopting when you that wasn't on your radar, and number two, starting a business. I mean, that in and of itself is an extremely faith-filled, sometimes stress-filled situation. I'm assuming that you have potentially dental school debt that you're trying to pay off. Starting a business, number one. Number two, starting a business with family can even be sometimes add more or less difficulty to the situation. This is a huge chapter in your life, and you already have two little kids.
Yeah. So luckily we hadn't started dental school yet, so we didn't have that
Oh,
debt that you're
okay.
about. So we just had graduated and we're looking, all around. So we weren't in dental.
Still,
Yeah, but still it is just a decision like, well, this is my dream, job type thing. Do I still keep going for this? Or do I step back and, let the Lord go this way with us? And that's what we decided to do. So yeah.
so when your father-in-law came forward with this business idea, was it an immediate, that's it, that's why? Or was it one of those times where you say, okay, we're going to weigh it out and we're going to make this decision and hope that that's the right path?
I think we were hoping it was the right path because my husband would still had, those dream ideas,
Yes.
things, but we felt just really good about it. We're like, well, we're here right now and we're about to adopt this little boy and it was just a way for him to get moving forward in a career path that could provide, and so it was just a blessing at that time. But yeah, it was not the easiest thing, but still we recognized it as a blessing. So
Yeah, I would say that's a very understated way to describe it. Wow. Wow.